The Matrix was definitely an awesome film since it came out 25 years ago, but what about its sequels? Well, I did a back to back review of those two just about 5 years ago when I started doing my vids, but now I'm going to give you reviews of these separately. So, I think you get what I'm saying. So strap yourselves in for a re-review, a solo re-review that is, of The Matrix Reloaded. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a re-review of the 2003 sci-fi action flick The Matrix Reloaded, released by Warner Brothers, directed by the Wachowskis, the sequel to the 1999 flick The Matrix, and second film. Well, you know what I'm saying. Keanu Reeves, Laurence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Hugo Weaving, and Gloria Foster reprise their roles from the previous film, while Jada Pinkett Smith and several others were introduced. This film was released on May 15th, 2003, just a week after it premiered at the Man Village Theater, just like its predecessor. Now, though it did get some positive reviews from critics, although most felt it inferior to the first film. Which, yeah, this kind of does feel a little inferior after I revisit the film. Now, before I get started on my review of this, if you have not seen my re-review of the first film, I would appreciate you check that out before you go into this one, okay? Okay, that ought to do it. Okay, on with the story. 6 months later, after the events of the first film, Neo and Trinity are now romantically involved. Morpheus receives a message from Captain Niobe of the Logos calling an emergency meeting of all ships of Zion. An army of sentinels is tunneling towards Zion and will reach it within 72 hours. Commander Locke orders all ships to return to Zion to prepare, but Morpheus asks one ship to remain to contact the Oracle. Within the Matrix, the lone ship's crew is encountered by the former Agent Smith, who copies himself over the body of crew member Bane and uses the phone line to leave the Matrix. In Zion, Morpheus announces the news of the advancing machines. His ship leaves Zion and enters the Matrix. Sorry, I'm not going to try and pronounce that ship's name again. I apologize. Where Neo meets the Oracle's bodyguard, Sarath, who leads him to her. The Oracle reveals that she is part of the Matrix and instructs Neo to reach its source with the help of the Keymaker. As the Oracle departs, Smith appears, telling Neo that after being defeated by him, he became a rogue program. He demonstrates his ability to clone himself over other inhabitants of the Matrix, including the new upgraded agents. He tries to take over Neo's body but fails, prompting a battle between Neo and many copies of Smith. Neo defends himself but is forced to retreat. Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity visit the Merovingian, who is imprisoning the Keymaker. The Merovingian is a rogue program with his own agenda, refuses to let him go. His wife Persephone, seeking revenge on her husband for his infidelity, leads the trio to the Keymaker. Morpheus, Trinity, and the Keymaker flee, while Neo holds off the Merovingian's henchmen. Morpheus and Trinity try to escape with the Keymaker, pursued by several agents and the Merovingian's chief henchmen, the twins. After a long chase, Trinity escapes, Morpheus defeats the twins, and Neo saves Morpheus and the Keymaker from Agent Johnson. The crews of Morpheus' ship, as well as the Vigilant and Logos, help the Keymaker and Neo reach the source. The Logos crew must destroy a power plant, and the Vigilant crew must disable a backup power station to bypass a security system, which will allow Neo to enter the source. Haunted by a vision of Trinity's death, he asks her to remain on Morpheus' ship. The Logos is successful, but the Vigilant is destroyed by a Sentinel. Trinity replaces the Vigilant crew and completes their mission. Agent Thompson corners her and they fight. As Neo, Morpheus, and the Keymaker try to reach the source, the Smiths ambush them, and the Keymaker is killed after unlocking the door to the source for Neo. Neo meets a program called the Architect, the creator of the Matrix, who explains that as the One, Neo is himself an intentional part of the design of the Matrix, which is now in its sixth iteration. Neo is meant to stop the Matrix's fatal system crash that naturally recurs due to the concept of human choice within it. As with the five previous ones, Neo has a choice: either reboot the Matrix from the source and pick a handful of survivors to repopulate the soon to be destroyed Zion, as his predecessors all did, or go to save the imperiled Trinity, causing the Matrix to crash and killing everyone in it. Neo chooses the latter, prompting a dismissive response from the Architect. Alright, now to the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Neo's vision of Trinity comes true as she is shot by Agent Thompson while falling off a building. Before she hits the ground, Neo arrives and catches her. He then removes the bullet from her chest and restarts her heart. They return to the real world where Sentinels attack them. Morpheus' ship is destroyed, but the crew escape. As the Sentinels catch up to them, Neo realizes he is able to sense the machines in the real world and telepathically destroys them, but falls into a coma from the effort. The crew are picked up by another ship, the Hammer. Its captain reveals that other ships defending Zion were wiped out by the machines after someone prematurely activated an EMP. Only one survivor was found: the Smith possessed Bane. End of story. Well, for this one, for now anyway, it would be concluded in the next film. So what did I think of The Matrix Reloaded? Critics are right actually. It does feel inferior to its predecessor, but however, it was pretty cool though, and what have you. This film was so big when it got released and what have you. And apparently, this did so big. This proved to be Warner Bros.' biggest opening weekend when it came out, beating out Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And for 6 years, the film would hold that record for having the largest number of screens for an R-rated film until Watchmen came out 6 years later. The film also surpassed Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones that had the highest Thursday opening, and would hold this record for 2 years until Revenge of the Sith Star Wars Episode 3 surpassed it. Additionally, the film had the highest opening weekend for an R-rated film, overturning the previous record held by Hannibal. And it held the record for having the biggest six-day opening until the following year when it was surpassed by Spider-Man 2. Anyway, the film did well, making 741 million worldwide against its budget of 127 to 150 million. Well, the film may not be certified French like its predecessor. It came close. It currently sits at 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying though its heady themes are a departure from its predecessor, the film is a worthy sequel packed with popcorn-friendly thrills. Yes, it still provides that same amount of good thrills and what have you like we got from the first film. Let's see here. Well, Roger Ebert described it as an immensely skillful sci-fi adventure combining the usual elements: heroes and villains, special effects and stunts, chases and explosions, romance and oratory, and praised the fact that it develops its world with more detail than the first movie was able to afford, gives us our first glimpse of the underground human sea of Zion, burrows closer to the heart of the secret of the Matrix and promotes its hero Neo from confused draftee to a Christ figure in training. Definitely. Also, he also compared the choreography of the Burly Brawl fight to that of one scene of the 2000 film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But there were some negative comments that include the sentiment that the plot was alienating, while with some critics regarding the focus on the action as a detriment to the film's human elements. Some critics thought that the number of scenes with expository dialogue worked against the film, and many unresolved subplots as well as the cliffhanger ending were also criticized. Well, true, but I'm still gonna say it's fine and what have you. Because this would be continued in The Matrix Revolutions, which was released a half a year later from this film's release. Nevertheless, the film still was a success, even when it got released on video cassette and DVD before The Matrix Revolutions even came out. So, anyway, yeah. We have Don Davis back on board to do the score for the film, and I think it was pretty good. Its soundtrack's really good too, especially with hearing Rage Against the Machine's Calm Like a Bomb and POD Sleeping Awake, and many others and what have you. Now, as for our cast, Keanu Reeves is back as Neo. He's still good. Laurence Fishburne, still good as Morpheus. Carrie-Anne Moss, still good as Trinity. And Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith, definitely still good as before. Yep, I must admit, it was really, really cool. Now then. Now, as for the rest of our cast, we have Jada Pinkett Smith, who, well, was originally offered the role of Trinity in the first film, comes on board as Niobe, or maybe it was his Niobe. Harold Perrineau plays Link, who's really, who I think that's a pretty cool character. And Gloria Foster, despite she passed away 2 years prior, managed to film her appearance as the Oracle. Randall Duck Kim plays the Keymaker. He's a good character. Monica Bellucci plays Persephone, good character. Lambert Wilson plays the Merovingian. And Helmut Bakaitis, if I mispronounce that, I apologize, played the Architect. Pretty good. Daniel Bernhardt played Agent Johnson. Oh, and we even have Lee Wanell, who the following year would appear in the original Saw. And of course, he would go on to do other films, including films in the Insidious franchise, as well as the remake of The Invisible Man. And then there's Z, played by Nona Gaye, the daughter of the late great Marvin Gaye. Now, that role was originally supposed to go to R&B star Aaliyah, but unfortunately, she died too soon as her plane crashed after filming her music video for Rock the Boat. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, and Link, of course, if I'm not mistaken, is the new operator of this film. Who knows what became of the other ones and what have you? Let's see. Colin Cho played the role of Serath. Now, it originally was to go to Jet Li, but he turned it down as he did not want his martial arts moves digitally recorded. Now, even though he did appear in a film that was sort of factually sort of like The Matrix, but it involved time traveling, though, and that was The One. I'll probably talk about that film sometime down the road. But anywho, the cast isn't too bad. I think the story could have just, well, kind of used a little, but it was still fine. All the action sequences were still good. The effects were still good. The cast is good. The music and score is good. Enough said about. So the Matrix Reloaded, it's not too bad. So would I recommend it? I would say, hell yeah, go for it. But if you want to play it safe, give it a one-time watch if you are a hardcore completionist. So, what did you think of The Matrix Reloaded? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And next time I'll be bringing to you a solo re-review of The Matrix Revolutions. And also, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little change of plans. Now, this coming Friday, I'm going to go ahead and give you the Monsters vs. Aliens review, which means I'm going to be sending the next Wide World Game Shows episode on Supermarket Sweep to next Monday, the 18th, okay? Just so I let you know that, okay? All right, good. Now that that's out of the way. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for some of these other films and what have you. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of a recent hit for Keanu Reeves, and that was John Wick Chapter 4 from last year, spoiler free. Or if you want, go to the upper right hand corner and see my review for a real big hit, the ending of a big hit film franchise that I know Hugo even took part of, and that was, of course, The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King from 2000, which was released the same year this was. Or go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review for another film that Mr. Weaving took part of, and that was the original Transformers live action film from 2007. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.